Lost is, I guess, a classic Banjo Paterson poem, and very unique. There's no other poem that's quite like that in the way it's put together, and the story, the content, and so on. And a fatalistic approach, perhaps, but still a form of a good spot in it. If that sounds a bit ironic. When I interviewed Banjo's granddaughters, they said it was totally unrealistic and it would never happen. I believe the love of a father or mother for their child can be extraordinary, and I have no doubt that, in my mind, it's realistic. A very emotional poem. I found it one of the hardest poems I learnt. The more emotional poem, the more difficult it is to learn. And even Clancy, I found difficult because of the images, even though it's not a long poem. "You ought to be home," said the old man. "Without there's something amiss. You only went to the 2 mile. You ought to be back by this." He would ride that wretched filly. He would have his wolf away, and here he's not back at sundown. What will his mother say? He's always his mother's idol since ever his father died, and there isn't a horse on the station he isn't game to ride. But that reckless mare is vicious, and once she gets away, he hasn't got strength to hold her. What will his mother say? The old man walked to the slip rail and peered up the darkening track and looked and longed for the rider that would never more come back. And the mother came and clutched him with sudden spasmodic fright. "What's become of my Willie? Why isn't he home tonight?" And away in the gloomy ranges, at the foot of an iron bark, the bonny, winsome laddie was lying stiff and stark. For the reckless mare had smashed him against a leaning limb, and his comely face was battered, and his merry eyes were dim. And the thoroughbred chestnut filly that saddled beneath her flanks was away like fire through the ranges to join the wild mob's ranks. And a broken-hearted woman and an old man, worn and grey, were searching all night in the ranges till the sunrise brought the day. And the mother kept feebly calling with a hope that would not die. "Willie! Where are you, Willie?" But how can the dead reply? But hope died out with the daylight, and the darkness brought despair. God pity the stricken mother, and answer the widow's prayer. Though far and wide they sought him, they found not where he fell, for the rangers held him precious and guarded their treasure well. The wattle blooms above him, and the bluebells blow close by, and the brown bees buzz the secret, and the wild birds sing reply. And the mother pined and faded, and cried and took no rest, and rode each day to the ranges on her hopeless weary quest. Seeking her loved one ever, she faded and pined away, but with strength of a great affection she still sought every day. "I know that sooner or later I shall find my boy," she said. But she came not home one evening, and they found her lying dead, and stamped on the poor pale features as her spirit homeward passed was an angel's smile of gladness. She had found the boy at last.